Talked to Newton right before the game. He liked my tie, so I like him. Hopefully the officials won't be part of the story here tonight. So the Aggies able to win the tip. And Marcel Davis, the true freshman from American Fork, coming off that career high 7 assists. Really played a brilliant first half. Here's Shaw, who they like to get him going early. Only had 6 points in the win against Seattle.
You know, immediately Idaho started in a man, and I like the aggressiveness to go down low and see if they can get something going with Shaw. You can tell he's got a big matchup. Him versus Barone tonight is one to keep your eye on.
Here's Madison. Misses on the 3. Butterfield with the rebound.
Madison's a 4-man that can step out and shoot.
Davis with the drive, lost it. And we have a whistle and a foul.
You know, one of the keys to the game, Michael, stop penetration. Marcel Davis has a deceivingly fast first step. He's very good at change of pace and change of direction. And you take a look as he takes the defender off the dribble there, able to get right to the rim.
50th meeting all time. Aggies lead it 35-14. 17-1 in this building. First game was played back in 1945. You know, will this rivalry continue? Obviously, Utah State will move into the Mountain West Conference next season. Idaho will be not in the Mountain West Conference.
We played in the Big Sky for basketball, and with football they'll be independent. And see if they can find a more permanent home. See what the future entails with all the conference realignment.
And of course, Coach Morrill does not like to play former assistants either. It's tough on him because he really likes all of his assistants.
Well, I have a feeling that he'll still schedule Idaho non-conference. It's just like with Randy Ray and Weber State. Former assistant, but he still finds a way to schedule him. And maybe the in-state kind of plays effect into that. And I would assume the same thing would happen with Idaho.
There's Madison. Shot clock now down to 5. On a drive, working on Butterfield, and that's off the mark. Barone deflects it. It was saved, but right to the Vandals. Madison got it rejected. And then the Vandals get it back, and Kyle Barone, you talked about at the top of the telecast, a terrific player for the Vandals, but for whatever reason has really struggled inside the spectrum.
Well, 2 second chance offensive opportunities. You see right here, it's another offensive opportunity. A great block, help side D coming from Shaw. But Barone is a beast around the rim. He's a tremendous rebounder. He's got a career high of 15 rebounds, a season high of 13 Thursday night at San Jose.
Cannot convert on the 3-point play, so Jared Shaw with a block already. Here comes pressure by the Vandals, but Shaw had 3 blocks in the win against Seattle. So he didn't score very effectively, but he did rebound and block shots for Coach Morrill. Speaking of Jared Shaw.
You see, immediately you're going to get the 2 zeros going right at it. Harris and Marcel Davis. Now, Harris is the junior college transfer. Davis is the true freshman, and they're trying to deny him the ball. And that's, Coach Verlin knows that Stu wants his offense to run through his point guard. He's going to run him on a couple down streets, get him the ball, and set the offense. So they're going to try and deny him the ball, and that's immediately what's happened. And Harris picks up his 2nd foul.
So Denzel Douglas, the junior out of Los Angeles, checks in for Coach Verlin. Early substitution because of foul issues. Maryland lost the ball. McChristian able to pick it up. 3 Aggies back defensively. Here's Douglas, got it blocked. And then Barone again working those offensive rebounds, able to pick up the swat and put it in.
Second chance points, Michael. Second chance points.
And points off of turnovers as well, as Deshaun Reed was fouled by Madison. Intriguing matchup. The 234s going against each other. So the last meeting, it was a blowout by the Aggies. They met in the postseason in the CIT, the second round. Aggies winning 76-56. You see Medlin, a strong performance. Medlin also closed the Vandals out in the regular season finale at a career high 32 points. So typically when he sees that Vandal black and gold, he performs very well. Preston Medlin. Here's Reed coming off a double-double on Saturday. Gets back out to Davis. Open look at a jumper. In and out. Shot with the offensive rebound, and it knocked away by Douglas. And they say it's going to stay with Utah State.
It's going to stay here, and to credit the active hands coming from Idaho. You know, right there, shot. Great job keeping the offensive board alive. There's no reason to put that ball on the floor. Grab it and just go up and score it. You're 6'11", big fella. Just go up and put that one down. Instead, he puts the ball on the floor, and those active hands, they're going to strip it. You know they're coached to do that. They know he puts that ball on the floor.
Butterfield, pull-up jumper. In and out again.
Well, him and Marcel were the first 2 out here shooting, and they were knocking down that elbow J. They had the elbow J working, and you know that they're going to go right to that.
Butterfield, a Very reliable shooter. It's really improved on that. Talked about it. Normally one of the first ones out on the floor. Last one's to leave kind of guy. Jim Rapp. Here's McChristian. Of course, he and Butterfield played at the same junior college together. Hill gets to the rim. A nice finish by the sophomore guard out of Post Falls, Idaho. His first 2 points of the game.
Well, I liked Hill last year as a freshman. He's a great player. You see his ability to penetrate. This is a kid that's their third leading scorer. He's averaging close to 9 points a ball game.
Inside to Reed. Able to score over Barone. Barone was late rotating over. And Keyshawn with 2 more.
Well, Keyshawn goes up strong. You thought he's going to go for the flush, but you see the alteration coming from 6'10", Kyle Barone. He's able to keep the ball with 2 hands, strong, and finish that layup. Just so impressed with the way Keyshawn Reed's game has developed. It's just a whole new level this year from last year. Patient offensively in the post, and then his ability to finish.
Barone, tough shot. Left it short. Davis with a rebound. Quickly pushing up ahead to Medlin.
That's the shot the Aggies want to force Idaho into making. The fadeaway from Barone.
Shaw cleans it up. I thought it might have been an offensive goaltend, but Shaw gets the dunk put back.
Boy, I didn't see if that was off the rim or not, but something to bring a little life into this Aggie offense. Seeing the length of Shaw, that's 2 offensive rebounds early for him, and I think that's going to be key for this ball game is how they handle the boards. They're +9 as a team, but Idaho's +7. Now so is Seattle, and they lost that rebounding battle.
Madison misses it to 3. Shaw with another rebound. Very active first half for Jared Shaw. Deep one by Shaw and able to hit. Douglas with the rebound. He does have that range. He can step out and hit it. Certainly, though, post player, you like to kind of feed him closer to the bucket. Here comes Douglas. Looking inside to Barone. Nice pass against Shaw. They're going to call Shaw for the foul. 14:55 remaining to be played in the first half, and we're tied at 6 apiece. Utah State women's basketball team won today against Idaho. They came back from 16 down to win 91-85. Erasing that 16-point deficit. Devin Christensen.
They erased 2 deficits. They were down 10 in the first half, come back, take lead at halftime. Then they go down, I believe it was an 18-0 run, down 16, come back, and you mentioned Devin Christensen, a big game, as well as McKinley Williams. Shout out to the Lady Aggies.
I think Williams went for 21 points, true freshman for Coach Finkbinder, so nicely done. Coming off that tough loss against Seattle in overtime. They forced overtime. Jen Schlott had a nice performance. KMYU is the television home for the Utah State Aggies. Our next telecast will be Friday, January 11th, when Utah State takes on travel partner San Jose State. Our coverage begins at 7 p.m. Watch the Utah State Aggies on KMYU, My Utah TV. Of course, I'd like to give a shout out to our good friend watching from Cedar City, Utah, Steve Weber. Hope that you're feeling better, Steve. One of the nicer guys anyone will ever meet. Look at the follow here by Jared Shaw.
Well, Michael, you got to get a body. Nobody gets a body on Jared Shaw. You take a look back at that play. Kyle Barone sees the shot go up, and he just goes to the rim, relying on his length and athleticism to get the rebound, rather than boxing out. I'll tell you what, you've got to get a body on Spencer Butterfield, Keyshawn Reed, Jared Shaw. They're taught to rebound, and you know, last year that was Stu's complaint, or his MO is we're just not a good rebounding team yet. And this year we've been an awfully good rebounding team.
Reed took it away from Madison, but Madison able to get it back. Tough shot over Reed, and he draws the foul. Does Steven Madison, a 6'5" guard out of Portland, Oregon, went to Jefferson High School. Coach Morrill looking on. He has by far the most shot attempts on this Vandal squad. He averages 29 minutes a game, 15 points, 4 rebounds.
Well, he's a very versatile four-man. This is a guy that shoots about 77% from the free throw line. I don't know if we'll connect there, but he shoots a high percentage from the field goal. You know, he's a 46% field goal shooter. Can pull you out, post you up.
This is both free throws. He has struggled also shooting the deep ball, only 21% from three-point range. Coach Berlin would certainly like to see that number change dramatically as we're now in conference play. Medlin.
They got the mismatch. They've got the mismatch. They got switching on screens, and you've got McChristian on Shaw. They missed it.
Marcel Davis in the lane. Back outside to Butterfield, a contested three. Too far for it. Here comes McChristian, gives it up. Here's Douglas, baseline. And he walked with it. So Idaho turning it over for the first time tonight. Your thoughts on the Vandal defense so far, Brooks?
Well, I think they're doing a fantastic job. I mentioned it's going to be a dogfight for the first half of this ball game. It's going to go up and down. These are two coaches that coach the same offense, that have a lot of the same plays. Now, Stu said he's kind of had to change his offense, or not necessarily change his offense, but he mentioned that Coach Verlin runs a lot of the old plays that they used to play or run, and a lot of some of the new plays. Just seems like Stu's got more athletic post players than he's had in the past, and that might attest to that. But I'll tell you, defensively, they're doing a good job. They're trying to disrupt rhythm, not allow them to get into any type of rhythm offensively.
A contested shot there by Medlin. Yeah, Utah State shooting 22% now from the floor. The Vandals holding San Jose State to 28% shooting. That's one of the best defensive performances Idaho has had in a WAC road game in a long time. You got to go a couple decades back.
And the Vandals winning the rebounds right now, 9-7. And that last time you see Mansa Habib, number 3, come in and just sky for the rebound.
Christian misses on the three. Butterfield with the rebound. And they might get Ben Clifford on the foul. Let's see.
Yeah, Clifford gives up about 4 inches to Kyle Barone. And I mentioned Barone is so active around the rim and rebounding. Clifford was out of position defensively and got caught pushing.
Clifford's coming off a nice performance. 10 minutes, 5 points.
Somehow he continues to grab the sub of the game.
Yes, he does. We need to keep track of that and see how many times he's won it. His nice inbounds play is Connor Hill again, now 4 points.
One of the easiest ways to score a basketball is on an inbounds play. If you can execute it, and you catch the defense out of position, you set good screens, and you open wide open looks, and you can tell a well-coached team runs good inbounds plays, and that's what Idaho did. An easy basket for Connor Hill. He's off to a good start tonight.
Medlin hitting the deck. Talked about Mansa Habib. Missed the Seattle game because of illness. He had the flu. Butterfield checks out. Marvin Jean checking in also. Marcus Bell, the junior out of Modesto, California. Coming off a 7-minute performance where he had 4 points, a turnover, and a block shot in the win against the Spartans.
Another junior college transfer that they're high on, that's averaging a little more than 7 minutes a ball game. Those guys off the bench for Barone.
Oh, Medlin going right past Hill. Good looking drive by Preston Medlin.
That's where Preston Medlin can take advantage of this defense. I believe he's quicker than Hill. He's more experienced. He's faster. If they go to man defense and they spread it open, you'll see more of that.
Hill, a quick trigger, and it's good. A quick 7 for the sophomore.
Tell you, I liked him a year ago. Great shooter. That's a quick release. Defensively, you've got to guard shooters. You give him about a foot of space, and he'll go up and shoot it.
Idaho very sluggish to start the game against San Jose State. First 10 minutes, but rallied and played excellent defense, especially in the second half, to beat San Jose State to improve to 2-0 in conference play. Medlin, that might have been forced as Bell comes up with a rebound.
He had the mismatch, and he knew he could get by Bell, so he called for it.
Habib somehow got that, and then what a rejection by Shaw. Holy smokes. Boy, second block. That one went in the first row.
Boy, where'd he come from? And Marcel Davis could have saved it, but it's probably a good move he didn't jump because it was so close to the line. If he would have jumped, he might have got hurt. He would have landed right on that bar on the front row. But take a look at this. The ball goes up. Boom. That was a tremendous block.
2 blocks already by Jared Shaw. We talked about had 3 on Thursday against Seattle. Jumper doesn't go. Davis another rebound. Boy. Able to keep the dribble even though he fell down.
Looked like he was just grabbed across the shoulder and pulled right down.
Medlin again with the drive. Was contested. They might have got a piece of him that time.
Medlin's trying to do too much right now. Trying to do too much. I'll tell you what, the quickness of the guards of Idaho right now is really hurting the Aggies.
I think they're going to get Clifford on his second, saying he bumped him as Hill had the baseline drive. 11:26 remaining in the first half, and it's the Vandals by 3. Back to the Spectrum in a moment. Idaho leading Utah State by a score of 11-8. Still 11:26 remaining in this first half. Tune in to Talkin' Sports every night at 10:37 on KMYU. See all the highlights and sports action from tonight on Utah's only nightly sports show. Check out Talkin' Sports tonight on KMYU, My Utah TV. Putting it inside, unable to hit as Clifford comes up with it after picking up that foul is Robert Harris Jr.
Harris had a wide open look. Michael, another executed out of bounds play.
Gene, the skip pass. There's Clifford. Oh my, Clifford with the step.
Now, you got to respect his shooting ability. He's been in somewhat of a shooting slump all year. We know he's got the touch. Coaches know that. They know they've got to get out on him, and he's got a great little first step.
They've been trying to get him more involved on the inside game, which worked really well last night, or pardon me, on Thursday. We had a couple of buckets. Held ball situation will stay here with the Vandals. But he can step out, he can hit that shot, but as you mentioned, Brooks, he has been struggling from the outside, shooting just 39% from the floor. So they're trying to get him better looks. In last game and a half, it's certainly paying off.
You see Idaho bringing in Madison and Barone now. They got good minutes out of their bench guys.
Matt Lopez has checked in for Coach Morrill.
Kammerer and Bell, I thought, gave him solid minutes. Didn't give up too much of a lead. Bring back the bread and butter. I'll tell you, the quickness of the guards of Idaho is what they're really trying to take advantage of.
Hill again rattles in another three. His second, already in double figures now with 10.
Boy, great shooter. All set up by an on-ball screen. You give him space, he's going to pull the trigger. He's got a quick trigger.
Yeah, what a release. Here's Lopez working on Barone. This is a good matchup. Lowers the shoulder, puts it up. Clifford with the offensive rebound. Outside to Medlin. Back iron. Davis had it for a moment, bodies on the floor. Held ball, and this time it'll stay with Utah State.
Well, Davis had the rebound. I don't know, I couldn't see it shielded by the official, but I don't know if it was Clifford or if it was Habib that got in there and took it away. But right there, Davis had it in his hand, and it looked like Clifford might have tipped it out a little bit. Either way, they get the ball back on the alternating possession. Now look for Marcel Davis to penetrate. He's been penetrating the last 4 possessions. His quickness able to get in the lane and see if he can create something. Trying to post him up.
There is Davis. Lost it out of bounds. It'll stay with the Aggies.
They're trying to take advantage of Marcel Davis' scoring ability. Not a lot of times in Stu's offense do you see them try and take advantage of that. You know, last year with Brocky Payne and the year before with Jared Quell, or 2 years before that, they were scoring point guards. Right now they know that Marcel can score. They feel like they got a mismatch there.
There's Davis inside 10 minutes. Pulls the trigger on a 3, hit 2 of them on Thursday, and this one's good.
It's a great shot on an on-ball screen. He's feeling it. They feel like he can score. Give him the ball.
Averaging 6 points a game. 20 minutes of work, but those numbers are picking right up. Speaking of Marcel Davis.
Defensively, Lopez has got his hands full.
Barone misses. Davis down the lane. High off the rim, doesn't go. Lopez right there. Contesting it. Clifford got the rebound again on his keister. Ben Clifford, solid production so far.
Boy, way to just be in the right place at the right time. I mean, he gets knocked down, ball lands in his pocket.
And one more look at this, the hustling Clifford.
And immediately
saves the possession by calling a timeout.
Yeah, that's smart basketball. Smart basketball. You're in that position, you call timeout. You know, Lopez was a little too open. You know, I'd like to see him settle down and just go up and play that when it's soft.
How about Connor Hill, the sophomore? He's showing you a little bit of everything tonight.
Well, right here, that's the out-of-bounds play. The other one was the beat off the dribble. There's an on-ball screen and the deep 3 ball. He can hurt you in all facets of the game. Right there, another quick shot, quick trigger. a tremendous basketball player in Connor Hill. I mean, this is a kid that played a lot as a freshman. He's now in his sophomore year, getting some experience in that system. I think he's got a bright future for the Vandals.
Averages 9 points a game and 28 minutes worth of work already with 10 points. He's been perfect so far. 4 of 4 from the floor, and 2 and 2 from three-point range. So perfect so far for Connor Hill, the sophomore for Idaho. Here's the lob. Reed unable to get a clean catch on that.
Well, they've ran that out of bounds a couple times, and it's worked. The lob was just a little high. And I don't know how you can lob anything too high for Keyshawn Reed.
Reed got his fingertips on that one, knocking the ball out, but Idaho retains possession. Yeah, he put on a dunking clinic here on Thursday.
I think USU's radio guy, Al Lewis, has dubbed him Key Slam.
Hill finally misses a shot. Gene with the rebound.
I think Key Slam's a fitting name. You look at his ability right there on the fast break. Early offense is what Keyshawn loves. You watch him sprint the floor. If he does not get the defensive rebound, he turns around, gets on his high horse, and he sprints to the other end to get the easy basket. Marcel Davis, another tremendous pass. Great opportunity to pad those stats when you've got somebody like Keyshawn Reed. And Marcel Davis, his head's up the entire time, looking down floor right here. See, he sees him. He waits till Madsen's back's turned to him so he doesn't disrupt the pass and allows Keyshawn to go finish.
Reed with 4 points, looking for that fifth. Coming off that double-double performance, 20 points, 10 rebounds, and a block shot and 3 dunks. Now with 5 here in this first half. Aggies with the lead, 16-14, 8.5 to play, first half. McChristian. Here's Douglas to Barone. Fouled by Tennille. So Kyle Barone will head to the free throw line.
Idaho's going back to some type of an offensive set like a weave across the top. They've got guards penetrating to the middle of the floor, getting an on-ball screen from a big rolls. If it's not there, they've got another on-ball screen or another screen away from the ball coming from the other guard that's looking to do the exact same thing. They're just alternating screens between bigs and guards. And that time it worked pretty well. I thought Habib did a good job of getting the ball down to Barone on the pick and roll.
Butterfield in, Midland going out. Barone, the last game on Thursday against San Jose State, 36 minutes, 16 points, 13 rebounds, had 3 blocks and an assist. He'll make good on that free throw attempt.
Yeah, he had a good week. He's played really well once conference has started.
3 consecutive double-doubles for the senior out of Garden Grove, California. Tied at 16.
He's hit 20 points 3 times this season, so we know he can score. That's why he's averaging a little more than 16.
Reed back outside. Here's Butterfield working on his former teammate. Is Lopez with the rebound. Again, cannot finish. Gene comes up with it.
You know, great job by Lopez right there, keeping the ball high and keeping it alive. He was unable to come up with the rebound, but he kept it high, which he's been known to put the ball on the floor.
Bodies on the floor as Idaho able to get that possession. As Habib brings up, he's still kind of shaken up. Not running with a full sprint. I like the hustle of Lopez, just needs a little bit of touch. Rebounding situation is Tennille with the rebound, looking to push for Utah State. Reed a deep one, in and out.
They just cannot find the bottom of the net, shooting under 30% right now, and they're going in and out, so they're on target.
Habib looking in, here's Barone. Back to Douglas, off the mark, Reed with another rebound. Second leading rebounder for Utah State. Shaw being the top rebounder for the Aggies.
No, neither team shooting lights out. You look right now, Idaho 24%, Utah State 28%.
Well, two teams, as you mentioned, very familiar with each other. Obviously, Coach Verlin spent 15 years under Coach Morrill. Here's Shaw. Acrobatic shot. Left it short, though. Barone, another board.
Trying to get creative with Barone, and Barone takes that big, long frame. Keeps those hands high, that wingspan long. Playing defense that way.
There's Madison. Working on Reed. Lopez comes over to help, and it doesn't matter as Madison scores and has a chance at a three-point play.
They let him dribble to the middle of the floor. I think defensively, you've got to force them to the sideline, force them to the baseline. You get somebody like Madsen going to the middle of the floor, he's going to make you pay.
2-point Idaho lead. Welcome back inside the Spectrum. Idaho leading Utah State by a score of 18-16, still 6:15 remaining. Brooks, did you know Utah State, one of just 13 teams shooting above 50% on the season? Right now, though, 6 of 26, 23% from the floor.
Yeah, shoot 23%, and they've got to increase that shooting percentage. Now you look right now, they've only got 3 assists on the night. Idaho's only got 4, but both teams doing a good job taking care of the basketball, only a turnover apiece for each team.
But normally you kind of get this type of a game, defensive game, when both teams know each other so well. Madison trying to complete the three-point play and cannot. He's missed all 3 free throw attempts.
Utah State now 21 rebounds to 17 rebounds for Idaho, so they're plus 4 in that regard. See if somehow they can come up with an offensive possession here to get an easy look at the bucket. There's been no easy looks.
Here's Reed, now Butterfield looking inside to Shaw. And how about this? Wendell Fain's sighting, a senior out of Lincoln, Nebraska. They had really high hopes for him last season. Averages 13 minutes, 3 points, 2 rebounds.
And this is a guy that started quite a few games this year. In the last 2, Seattle and San Jose, he hasn't played. But he's a big body. He's somebody they like to bring in and be physical, and you can tell he's trying to do that with Shaw. That's one thing that Coach Morris talked about is Shaw. People are going to come at him and be strong and physical and see how he matches up with that.
There's Rowland, misses on the 3, but Shaw is right there, padding the offensive numbers there. Jared Shaw, Keyshawn Reed with 2 more. Now I'm getting them mixed up.
Well, nobody got a body. I mean, there was nobody there to box out Reed. And he's rebounding that above the rim.
There's Madison with the drive. And it's a blocking call, and Coach Morrill is irate.
That's 2 fouls on Shaw, and I thought Shaw's feet were set. He was outside the circle. Keyshawn closed out high side on Madison, trying to force some baseline, taking away the middle of the floor. He did a great job defensively, and I thought Shaw was just camped waiting for them. From what I could see.
He wants to talk to Bob Staffen.
You take a look, see, closes high side, gives up the lane. There's Shaw, he's outside the key. He's outside the key, feet are set, hands across the body, there to take a charge, and they get the blocking foul on Jared Shaw. That's another and one opportunity for Madsen. Boy, is he going hard to the rim.
Yeah, he liked to talk to the official. He wanted to talk to him at the last dead ball, too, and Bob Staffen didn't come over to accommodate. Press here by the Vandals. 2-point game. There's Rowland. So we approach 5 minutes in this first half. Very defensive so far. Rowland on the drive. Here's Reed. Shot contest. Butterfield right there and cleans it up.
2 consecutive offensive rebounds and putbacks for Utah State. Right there, I'll tell you what, Idaho's defensive post players are really being physical and strong with Keyshawn and Jared Shaw. They're pushing them away from the basket, pushing them out of the key, and I wonder how they'll continue to respond.
Madison misses the 3. Medlin with a rebound. Reed down on the deck as Medlin pulls the trigger. That went off the mark. There's Madison again. Almost thought about it. And Christian with the 3, and that is good. Turned around and looked at Utah State's bench.
You've got to find shooters in transition. Their transition offense, the ball gets up to Steven Madsen. He's a great 4-man that runs the floor. A nice little ball fake, skip pass to Mike McChristian. They're going to make you hurt. There's the skip pass coming right over to McChristian. McChristian knocks it down. Stu Morrill calls a quick timeout to kind of stop the bleeding a little bit, not allowing them to get into any type of run. Get some energy going for Idaho.
Utah State just 8 of 32, 1 for 7 from 3-point range. Utah State basketball action continues at the D. Glenn Smith Spectrum Friday, January 11th, when the Aggies host the San Jose State Spartans. Tip-off set for 7 p.m. Season tickets and many ticket plans still available through Utah State's ticket office. Call 188-U-STATE-1 or order online at UtahStateAggies.com. Spartans an improved season thus far. Early in WAC play, but Coach Nesman has them playing better. Here is Reed. Chance for a three-point play by Keyshawn Reed, bullying Robert Harris a little bit. Harris 5'10", 180.
Well, it's a great set play coming out of the timeout. Let's get Marcel Davis in there. Let's get an on-ball screen. Get them to switch on the mismatch. Keyshawn, go do your thing.
So Reed connects, and it's a 1-point Idaho lead. Spectrum, it has been a defensive type of performance by both teams. Shooting percentages way down. Utah State shooting just 27%. Idaho shooting 36%. Coach Morrell's been somewhat not impressed with the officiating so far. There have been a couple of real close calls that have gone against Utah State.
Well, Utah State shooting 14% from three range, 1 for 7, and 9 for 33 from the field. So they've got to find a way to find the bottom of the net, get the ball in the basket.
And they've had a lot of shots go in and out. They've had some decent looks.
Now, Idaho has hit some threes. They're shooting 33%.
So Reed ties it up.
You know, 2 of those coming from Hill and 1 more from McChristian. They've been open shooters. You worry about Double and Barone because they've got good shooters. They've got 3 guys that shoot over 40% from three-point range.
Butterfield takes that one away. Goes all the way and scores! Spencer Butterfield. Tremendous play.
It's a great coast-to-coast play. He had Mansa Habib kind of backpedaling and didn't know which direction to play defense. He had him spin in circles, got him off balance, was able to get to the rim before it. Rather than Habib just turning and sprinting to the spot, he kind of got mixed up with his footwork.
Butterfield is filled in nicely for Danny Berger. Here's Habib with a drive and a chance at a three-point play.
The coaching staff all over Matt Lopez right now to beat him there defensively. Just get your hands up. You're 6'11". You're long, you're big. Make them shoot over you rather than a little slow footwork. Doesn't beat Habib to the spot. And it's going to bring Jordan Stone off the bench. You know, Coach Morrill talked about the differences between Stone and Lopez. Lopez is a little more developed offensively. He's got a little bit better hands, a little bit better around the basket, but Stone's probably a little better defensively. And they both had about a year in the system.
Stone's played in 9 of the 13 games. Did not play on Thursday against Seattle, getting an opportunity here.
You know, he hasn't played a lot, and you wonder how that's going to affect him just coming into the game. He's got to be ready, both physically and mentally, in these games, because you never know when you're going to be called on.
In 6 minutes, averages 1 point and 2 rebounds. Sophomore out of Smithfield, Utah. Here is Reed. Madison on him. Drives the double, tries to split it. Looking for some help. Shot clock down to 5. Davis with 2. Had it blocked by Madison, and then Keyshawn had it but couldn't beat the clock.
You know, defensively, Idaho is so aggressive. You've got to be so strong physically. They bring a different dimension of physicality to the court. And they're all over Marcel. They're all over Keyshawn. They're really stepping up the game physical-wise. You look at Medlin and Connor Hill at the top of the key right now. Really doing battle.
We talked about Idaho's defensive performance on Thursday against San Jose State, limiting the Spartans to just 28% shooting as Barone hits the hook shot.
What great move by Barone, and I thought Stone was really good defensively. You see, that's the same drive and a defensive stance that Lopez was in where he let the guy get to the rim. That time Stone beat him to the baseline, made him shoot over him. It's a lot tougher to shoot over somebody than shoot through him. That's probably why he came off the bench. It's tough to guard Barone. Boy, what a game he's having.
Under 2 minutes to play in the first half. Medlin pulls the trigger. Back iron. A whistle and a foul underneath. And again, the hustling Butterfield able to get the call.
That's going to go on Hill. That's Hill's second. You know, how about Barone? He's got 8 points here in the first half of this game and not a single foul. And it has been so physical down low. And you look on the flip side over to Utah State, Keyshawn Reed, he's got 2 fouls. Jared Shaw, he's got a couple fouls. Or excuse me, Shaw, no fouls. Or no, I'm sorry, that's right. Jared Shaw's got 2, Keyshawn's got 2. So foul situation really favoring the Vandals as physicals. It's been down low.
Butterfield makes the first.
Even Clifford with 2 fouls. That's another one of their post players. And Lopez with 1.
Butterfield had 7 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists in the win on Thursday against Seattle. Makes both free throws.
Averaging close to 5 rebounds a game, just under. And you've got to love that out of your 3-man. Somebody that can get about 5+ boards a game, shoot a high percentage, average about 10 points a game.
Butterfield now with 6. Here's Barone. Had it knocked away from behind by Davis, giving help to Stone. It'll stay with Idaho.
I credit Stone for the defensive stance right there. He didn't allow Kyle Barone to deliver or dribble around him. You know, he keeps him in front. He keeps him in front. Doesn't let him dribble around. Active hands, knocks it loose. See if he can come up with a stop, because you know Barone's going to go at him. They're going to take advantage of it.
McChristian fires and hits over Medlin.
It's a tough shot by McChristian. Trying to create space. Medlin had a hand in his face.
McChristian now with 5 points. Had that 3 earlier. 3-point Idaho advantage as we approach 1 minute to play in the first half. Medlin on a drive, able to get the foul on Habib.
Medlin's going to go to the line. It's in the bonus situation. They're saying bonus. He wasn't shooting, but Medlin's trying to get to the rim. And they must feel like he's got a first step that he can get by. He drives and drives a lot. He's got a nice little floater in the lane. We've seen it for a couple of years now.
And when you're not shooting it well from the floor, why not drive it, try to get to the line? Medlin, an 82% free throw shooter, 6 for 6 on Thursday in the win over Seattle. Smart play. Is Medlin able to pick up the foul? And we'll try to make the second here. And misses. Back tip by Clifford. Stone hands it to Medlin. Second chance opportunity. It's been a big deal. It was a big deal in the win against Seattle on Thursday. Clifford has to battle for it.
Tell you what, Steven Madsen is just one of those aggressive basketball players. One that sacrifices body for that basketball. I mean, he goes after the leather. He goes after it hard.
.45 seconds left. Utah State trailing by 2. Here's Butterfield with a quick first step. Butterfield now with 8. They're tied at 30.
They're so concerned defensively to not let them drive middle that he opened the baseline wide open. Barone's back was turned and there was no help side defense. When Jordan Stone moved up in the lane, it created a space for Butterfield.
There's Douglas. Utah State trying to get a stop here. Barone. Maybe a second differential. McChristian pulls the trigger with 2, misses everything. And that's how the first half comes to an end. Very physical and defensive.
Well, Utah State was complacent to sit back and allow them to try and get into some type of offensive set, but defensively, that was a good job. They forced them to shoot a fadeaway 3-pointer. Not an easy layup.
So we head to halftime, tied at 30 in the 50th meeting all time between the Vandals of Idaho and the Aggies of Utah State. We'll return to the Spectrum with halftime after this.